Um, so when I was in middle school, I clearly have a facial birthmark on this side of my face, and it was never an intentional bullying situation, but it was a repeated asking the question of, what's on your face or what happened by students that clearly knew. And I was never one to be physically bullied, but that was kind of their way to, get at me, I guess. And it just got old, and it was usually the same few characters. But one thing that I learned, one way that I got over it was just kind of brushing it off and learning how to respond positively to that. Because as an adult, even now, I'm asked that question when I meet strangers, and I think had I not gone through that as a middle school student, then I would never know today how to handle people asking me that question. And now I see it as a positive thing. I know, especially when like younger kids ask, they have no idea what it is and they're not trying to be bullies, but they're just curious. And so if I approach it with that mindset, like I'm teaching them something, or like I'm unveiling something new to them, and then I can teach it as turn into like a moral lesson as well of, you're going to come across people with burns on their face, or they maybe have something missing that normal people have, and how to look at them the same way as everyone else, because I think that's a huge skill that you just don't know until you experience it, and I'm kind of like a stepping stone for that for some kids. So.
Awesome.
So I was bullied when I was in elementary school. I was in second grade, and I always walked home because my house was really close to my elementary school. And there was this kid in fifth grade named Tyler who would follow me home and poke and prod at me as I was walking home and taunt me, call me names like geek or nerd. And I kind of just brushed it off and kept going until one day he followed me behind, and he would call me things like a nobody. And I remember that one stuck with me more than anything, because I didn't understand how someone could be so mean or so hurtful. And I just kind of let it go. I know my mom talked to the principal and nothing really happened until one day I was walking home again. This is several weeks later. And this time I was walking home with my older brother, who's also in fifth grade, so same grade as Tyler. And Aaron, my brother, and I were walking home together, and there was Tyler again behind me, pushing me, poking me, calling me names, until my older brother actually turned around and punched him square in the nose, and Tyler went down. And that may seem funny, and it kind of is as you look back at it, but the greater message there is that you have to understand when certain people go through certain situations and they feel that they're backed in a corner, the situation is bound to escalate. And in this case, either the person who's being targeted or someone close to them is likely to retaliate. And that does happen, and not all situations are as, I don't want to say easy, but as simple as that one may seem. Some are way more extreme than others, and that's just to go show that that could happen. And I've learned a lot from it. The first thing I learned was that I'm not a nobody. I knew from when he said that wasn't true, and I proved him wrong to this day. Like, I am somebody. I play an important role in a lot of kids' lives. I get to come to work to have fun and talk to and meet all these incredible people and work with people who I admire and am really close with. And I know that this is just a really good lesson for people to understand that we as a community need to come together before it escalates like that situation did.
So when I was in high school, there was a girl in my class, and she wasn't the most kept up person in the world. Not very clean, etc., greasy, whatever. And I had cats. And a lot of times when she came to school, her clothes may have stains, or she smelled like cat urine often. And the kids would make fun of her, call her stinky, kitty, smelly. They try and pet her, they hiss at her. And I guess, just in retrospective, I never made fun of her, but I never stood up for her. And I feel bad to the day that I never intercepted, so I was much more of a bystander than anything, and not making a difference. You know, of course, once in a while you'd say, knock it off, and they'd laugh at you. But I never checked to see how she was doing, or how it made her feel. Very, very smart girl, brilliant, you know, very top of our class, went off, did very well, but has nothing to do anything with high school or reunions or coming back and speaking to people, and probably has a lot of resentment for those guys, and even probably us that have just watched and really never made a difference, never said anything about it.